last week some really exciting stuff. Just like a little snippet, I said last week that we have begun the process of looking at a possible permanent home for the Point. Here's a really cool story for you. About 8 months ago, before I got here, a team gathered to say, God, if you're opening the door, where are we to go? What's it going to look like? And I got here and I joined this team and we began to say, what is really important to us as a church? What things really help us connect the disconnected? And we put together a list of about 7 things. We said, we want to find a space that has all of these things so that we can connect others well. And we looked at probably 15 or 20 different spaces in person, and none of them just felt right. We looked at some old bars, some old restaurants, some old strip malls that were empty. We looked at all kinds of different spaces. And said, it just doesn't seem like the space for us. Let's keep looking. And we walked into this space on 318 Mohican Street. I'm giving you the address because I want you to drive by and begin to pray about this space. I want you to look at it and begin to vision what could God do here, because we walked into this space, an old movie theater, last used as a nightclub. Hey, it seems to be fitting for us so far, right? And we walked into this space and all 7 of us said, this feels right. And a small team has gathered and has begun to put together details. If we go forward with this space, what's it going to cost? What's it going to cost to remove the carpet that smells like a nightclub so your kids have something a little bit cleaner when we're doing Kids Point, right? What's it going to cost to put some light bulbs in the ceiling that's at least as high as this ceiling so we can see when we're in the place? What's it going to cost to do some of these things, like buy chairs so you have a place to sit when we worship? If God is opening this door for us to have a home of our own, what's it going to cost? And this team's putting together all the plans and all the details. What will it take for God to move in this way? This is where you come in. I don't have the details yet. As soon as I have them, I'll give them to you. But these were handed out when you came in. If you didn't get one, you can get one as you leave. Here's what I want you to do. If we're going to move into this home, we as a family need to say, this is our home. We're going to pay for it. If you own a home, you know that the process of paying for a home takes a while. Anybody ever buy a 7,200 square foot home for $150,000? Exactly, right? I don't know the final details, but I got a good hunch that for about $150,000, we can move into a permanent space of our own. With 200 of us here every week, that's not a whole lot of money for any of us to say, we can help with that. And if all of us come together and say, God, I believe you're helping connect the disconnected, and I believe this space will help us create the opportunities to love those who are hurting and shine into great darkness. I want you to take this home and begin to pray, you and your spouse, your family together. God, how can we be a part of what you're doing? And if you think this is the right thing to do and the right decision, you said, this sounds really awesome. If you drive by and you go, wow, that's really cool, I think we can do this. Sometime in the next few weeks, bring this back. Maybe with a commitment to give over the course of the whole next year. Hey, I want to give a little bit more at some point next year. Maybe at the end of the year, because the year's coming to an end, you want to say, hey, I want to give a little this time of year as the year's coming to an end. Personally, I don't care what dollar amount you put on there. There's a reason I didn't ask for your email address and your home address and your phone number and all that stuff. I'm not going to follow up. Did you follow your commitment or not? I'll leave that between you and God. But as we prepare to consider moving into this space to call ours, we need to know, church, is this what you want to do? Is this where you want to go? And if you think this is where God's moving, pray about committing to being a part of that. All right? With that, we're going to collect our offering now, not to get God's love, but because we have it. So as the popcorn buckets come by, feel free to give in the bucket, online, or in the app, so that we can be a part of what he's doing, not only in this place, but through us as his people in our city. Thanks.